Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody here. Thank you for accepting our paper to be presented in the 8th International Conference on Sustainable Agriculture and Environment. I would like to present our work entitled Vaccination Strategy of Live-Attenuated Eimeria species exhibits earliest protection against intestinal coccidiosis for sustainable rabbit husbandry. I myself, Penny Humaydi Hamid, and my colleague Widagdo Sri Nugroho, Sigit Prastowo, and Rini Widayanti, we are a collaboration from Department of Animal Science, Universitas 11 Maret Surakarta, and Veterinary Medicine, Universitas Gadjah Mada, Yogyakarta. As we know together that global rabbit meat always increase annually, as we can see in this presentation that in the 2017, 6.4 billion, that is picking up by 12% against the previous year. That means 12% more than 2016. Yeah? And now it's more than 10 billion reported for the global rabbit meat market revenue. And the many countries like Russia, for example, has a very ambitious project like targets tenfold increase in rabbit meat production, for example. Now, the leading producer for rabbit meat industry is China in the Asia and also worldwide. In European still like Germany, Spain, France, and also Italy. In the South America, we can see in the growing market of Venezuela and Egypt, start Congo, and also Egypt in the Africa. So why it is very promising of rabbit, because they have a very fast reproduction cycle. They have early maturation stage, and they can produce have a reproduction until 10 times annually. So it's quite promising. As we know together that in the production of animal to get profitable, we have to consider about health management. It is a very pivotal role for all the animal production industry, not only rabbit, but also cattle and poultry and so on. Among many diseases treated in rabbit husbandry is coccidiosis, mainly caused by Eimeria spp. Eimeria subspecies is more than 10 different species of Eimeria and very unique in rabbit. They have what's called the hepatic coccidiosis. The hepatic coccidiosis is caused by Eimeria stridei, and also the intestinal form by 10 different species of Eimeria. Both the Eimeria in the intestinal form and the hepatic form are very threatening for the rabbit industry. Eimeria can cause different clinical signs, from the subclinical forms to severe diarrhea, which led to high mortality rate, especially from the younger kid, because they have no maternal immunity against coccidiosis. And this case is reported from the traditional farm in Asia, Europe, America, and Africa, as well as the intensive farm or industrial scale farm. So let's get a look a little bit about what is Eimeria and coccidiosis. So coccidia, this is the infective stage of coccidia, Eimeria, oocyst. This is sporulated. We can see here the internal sporozoites inside of the oocyst, and this oocyst has thick wall infecting the animal here, and then form the large meron. This is the meron. In the intracellular stage of the coccidia is inside of their host. They have very specific hosts for bovine, rabbit, and so on, and they develop thousands of merozoites. These merozoites and then develop further to form the sexual stages inside of its obligate host, and then producing secreted with the phases, the infectious form, the oocyst again, and this oocyst will undergo sporogony process to get sporulated in the environment. And so far, the curative treatment of rabbit coccidiosis is still by using synthetic antibiotic, mainly by using sulfur-based compound, selinomycin, dobenidine, decocazuril, that this is the common compound for poultry coccidiosis. And as we know together, it will induce what's called the antibiotic resistance and also antibiotic contamination to the environment. We can see in the data that the antibiotic in farming is clearly a global concern. That, for example, the report in China focusing on the diarrhea rabbit, 78% of E. coli isolated found was already resistant to tetracycline. Resistance to ampicillin, for example, reaching 65%. Another study in Spain, for example, resistant to doxycycline reaching 89%, amoxicillin 16%, gentamicin 2%, and endofoxacin 4%. So this is very important issue of antibiotic resistance because it will influence also resistance of human to antibiotic if their meat is already contaminated or containing high concentration of antibiotic. So we can see here that coccidiosis in poultry in Indonesia also in 2017 and now in 2021 is still a threat. For example, here the coccidiosis is in the 5th rank of the most highest or the highest cases in poultry. But in poultry, we can see here the different kind of vaccines already produced and commercially available, like Coccivac by Merck, Pneumococcus, and then also Hypermonia Evalon with Hyperimmune T. This is the product of vaccine coccidia for poultry. But in our knowledge, there are no vaccine commercially available for rabbit. Although coccidiosis in rabbit is also quite in a high cases. So then we try to develop a vaccine here. In this report, we use 2 different species mixed together, Eimeria magna and Eimeria colicicola. We select what's called the precociocyte, and we infect the rabbit, one rabbit, and here they will secrete more oocysts that can be used for vaccine to have another rabbit. Next, this is our facility in veterinary medicine, Gajah Mada University. All the rabbit is caged inside of the animal practical laboratory. Here, for the infection, they are caged individually. So when we collect the sample, the fecal sample containing oocysts for quantification will not mix each other. Yeah, and then we are also raising rabbit, for experiment. So this is we guarantee the rabbit produced for all the experiment in this report. We also have the rabbit garden. This rabbit center is open space. This is for rabbit, for activity of the rabbit, and we can see here all the rabbit run around, and then this is for animal welfare. This is also for tests because somehow we need to test in the actual condition after vaccination without controlled condition of the air and also temperature and humidity. Okay. We use the kids with a variation of age 28 and 35 days. The kids were also treated with chemotherapeutic method 2 weeks before the treatment of coccidia. I would like to show you some, but it's not working. Okay. So in this report, we use the intestinal coccidia. Already published in our paper, entitled Intestinal and Hepatic Coccidiosis in Rabbits in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Here is the precocious line of Eimeria magna, the reduced pre-patent period until 119 hours, and 145 hours for Eimeria coicicola. Each rabbit coccidia has their own predilection site. So here, for example, this is perforans, media magna, and so on. And this is the Eimeria coicicola. It's mainly in the large intestine, yeah. But the Eimeria magna, for example, it's more in the small intestine. So they are in the this is it's duodenum and then ileum and jejunum. So the rabbit coccidia, the different predilection site and also different pathogenicity. Yeah. The precocious line of Eimeria that we have already selected here by selection method of precocious line also still exhibit several factors. Yeah? Several factors as the indicator that they can live well inside of their house. We can see in the ileum, this is the pair patches. And after infection of the Eimeria precocious line, there are no too much erosion of the epithelial villi in the intestine. But inside the section, in the tissue section with larger magnification, we can see the full development of Eimeria or coccidia inside of the intestinal epithelial villi. We can see, for example, here, this small one here, this is the trophozoites. The trophozoites from the sporozoites, when they are entering into the cell, then they transform to trophozoites. Then they get larger and larger. When they get larger, they will undergo what's called the merogony. The merogony process here is the merogony process is small, and then after several days, they will go bigger, and this is almost done. We can see a lot of merozoites inside, yeah, and this merozoite will go and infect any other cell. Okay, and then after that, they will form what's called the sexual stage. They will go to macrogamon and microgamon and then fuse to form oocyst. Then this will go with feces secreted to the environment and develop what called the sporogony process to get sporulated. The most important things for I give it a point here. This is the developmental stages. This is macrogamon and microgamon. Yeah, in the other side is this is the key that our isolate still has fecundity or fertility. So that means our isolate, although they are already defect or they have lower pathogenicity, they able to complete their life cycle inside of the host. So after several days of infection, they are also still secreted in the environment. We can see here DF is divalent. That means contain of two different species. I call it divalent for 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, and 1,000. And we can see here 1 day, 3 days after infection, we collect the all this secreted by with the fecal samples, yeah. And then after that, we can see here they have a cycle like usual form of normal isolates, white type, but with lower production of oocyte seeded in the environment. This is quite important because in the in vitro system, so many things, so many mechanisms between the host and between the protocytes interact each other. The most important thing is that our isolate is still able to produce their life cycle inside of the host, but they have lower pathogenicity. After immunization, they will not effect any detrimental things to the host. And see here also, this is the total oocyte seeding after immunization. and we challenge with homolog infection, that the control has a high number of oocysts without immunization, and the animal with immunization with 100 different vaccines, 200, 400, 800, significantly lower, yeah, than the non-immunized rabbit. Okay, so because no maternal immunity in rabbit coccidiosis, they have no maternal immunity for the kids. Although the mother might be infected with Eimeria before, but the immunity is not inherited to the kids. Therefore, it's very important for us to have the prevention system since the early days old of vaccination, around 25 until 30 days old, to get vaccinated. Yeah? And why 25 days? As we know together that coccidia will not infect the rabbit before around 2 weeks old. So the intestinal lining of the rabbit is not yet acceptable for the infection of this protozoa. So it's very promising result from our research that we can use the different vaccine, Eimeria coccicola and Eimeria magna, in the form of precocious line to be the vaccine candidate of fattening rabbit, as well as maybe the pet rabbit. In our conclusion, live-attenuated Eimeria coccicola and Eimeria magna oocysts yields immune protection against coccidiosis infection, and we recommend the dosage of 800 live-attenuated of mixed oocysts as the vaccine, and we hope that this vaccine candidate can be further studies for further trials, and because it has high fecundity or high fertility, we expect that this vaccine can be used in the industrial scale. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.